future doesn't have to be like that. If you step on in to the secret kindergarten, showing you that your young children hold the key to understanding the universe, understanding the self, and therefore they hold the key to human freedom. Your child is the gatekeeper. Only you can open the gate, and the secret kindergarten is going to show you how.
Welcome back to the secret kindergarten. It's grown-ups edition. All right. But we're not going to say any rude words, so anyone can listen, really. But we are going to talk about today the activity If I Were Famous, which you just heard if you've been listening. And we're just going to dive into that a little bit and talk about really what they call as pedagogy, which is basically the study of child development. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to read you and acknowledge where I got the activity from. It's from the book Helping Children to Build Self-Esteem by Deborah Plummer. And I will put the link to that book in the show notes on my Substack and my website, thesecretkindergarten.com and thesecretkindergarten at substack.com. Oh gosh, I got to write that down. Anyhow, so this is from the section called Setting Goals, also known as Moonbeams, which I love. So the aims of this section: to introduce children to the idea of setting regular goals, to expand on previous activities involving understanding the nature of change, to provide a variety of ways in which children can monitor their own progress. No additional materials are required. In this book there are activity worksheets, and this book is a photocopiable workbook, but I don't think we need them. But I would say that this book is directed at children as opposed to young children, so we're probably talking about 7 to 14, but I think this is going to be great for 5 years old and up, and obviously I see it as a family activity, so under 5s of course can get involved too. Just what's put down on the paper is going to be more symbolic as you get younger. So anyone that can hold a pen or a pencil. And this is introductory. Talk about the sorts of targets or goals that people can set for themselves at school, with friends, in sport, in scouts or guides, etc. Talk about individual targets and also group aims or goals. And the important thing, if there are young children around in your life, you would lead by example. So this is a good activity for everybody. I think goal setting is important and a challenge to incorporate into our busy lives. So here are example activities for goal setting, and obviously we know one already, which is the If I Were Famous, and we'll just go through these other ones. Let's have a look. Number 1, taking off, and 1B, just the right star. Oh, here we go. There is a longer version of this exercise in using interactive image work. There's a key phrase there. With children, and it is adapted from an original exercise by Dina Globerman. Projecting yourself into the future to imagine how things will turn out is a powerful aid to making changes. Such imagery requires the suspending of judgment and reality in order to act as if you had already achieved some desired outcome. And that's Joe Dispenza's work right there, isn't it? And that's part of the focus of my other show, Otherworld Connections, which you can check out on Revolution.radio, Studio A, Wednesdays, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, let's go back to this. It is sometimes the case that adults encourage a child to try out new things that unfortunately then result in failure because the child has no motivation to change or no concept of how achieving the goal might affect how he feels about himself. Imagery can provide a child with an opportunity to project himself forward in time in his imagination and see a positive outcome, experiencing it in his conscious mind and, in effect, creating a memory of the event as if it had already happened. This forward projection allows the child to recognize where he is at the moment, how far along the road he has already come, and to discover some of the things that he will need to know to achieve his goal. Perhaps other people will need to be involved, and the child can visualize how this might come about. He can also explore some of the things that might hold him back, things that he will have to overcome to achieve his goal. Imagine getting to work on this when you're a kid. It is important to help the children to identify particular goals before you start this exercise. I suggest that you then read these 2 pages to the group and ask for feedback as for the other imagery exercises. Number 2, a letter to myself. This one is really sweet, everybody. Once again, committing the thoughts to paper makes them more real. Dina Globerman suggests sealing up the letter and sending it to the writer at a later date, a way of reminding them where they are headed. Isn't that sweet? Number 3, footsteps. The ability to set realistic and yet challenging goals is an important but often undervalued skill. A child who sets herself goals and is ready and able to evaluate her own progression on an ongoing basis will find that she has a clearer sense of direction and purpose and can accomplish more in a short period. A sense of control leads to higher self-esteem, which is more likely to result in higher achievements. Many children do not set themselves goals because they have had past experience of failure or because they have heard too often that they will not be able to achieve them. The idea that this is now true, brackets, I never managed to do what I really want, it becomes their own self-limiting belief. Children usually need help to set realistic goals without being overly ambitious. We can encourage them to be clear about what they are aiming for and to recognize the benefits of achieving the goal by looking at the smaller steps that they need to take along the way. Number 4, if I were famous. That's the one that we covered in the Secret Kindergarten show for kids just previously. This is another way of identifying long-term goals. It could be done as a newspaper article. Think up the headline first and then fill in the details, being as descriptive and precise as possible. Number 5, recipe for success. This is best done as a brainstorm first, and then children can pick out individual ideas that they think would be right for them. Number 6, treasure chest. Talk about the different treasure that the children choose. Make regular times when children can find something in their treasure chest to share with the group. So yeah, we could set mini goals. I know it's a bit forward of me to give advice to busy families out there, but you could set little mini planning goals. Bring the kids on it, things they like to do. Pizza night, I don't know. Number 7, goal record sheet. The ability to evaluate your own progress is a skill which children with low self-esteem can often not manage in an objective way. They will need to try several different methods and talk over their goal record sheets with an adult and with each other so that they get used to setting their own goals and knowing how to move on to the next step. Facilitate a discussion about change. In particular, encourage children to think about the following. Why would someone change? For example, because they want to feel better. What can we do to keep the change going? For example, continue to set small goals. Let's have a look at number 9, the magic mirror. Use photos or look in hand mirrors to draw self-portraits. This exercise encourages physical self-awareness. The magic mirror can be used for more than physical aspects, however. It appears at the end of each section where it can be used to help children to identify some of the changes they are making. Talk about how the picture in the mirror might change. For example, the child may have a different expression, be wearing different clothes or a crown made up of the jewels being collected, or perhaps he will be holding something or doing something that shows what he has been learning. And this one's especially good for adult. This is good for everyone, adults as well. So that could be something the adult, you grown-ups can do in front or around young children. Literally talking to yourself in the mirror. We've covered this in the Otherworld Connections. It's a type of shadow work, right? Soul scrying. And here it's about developing self-awareness. Being aware of what you're doing, conscious of what you how you are acting and behaving and thinking and what you're doing in the present moment. So that's a cool activity too. Alright, so now here's the fun part. This is the part for all you grown-ups out there, sort of like the why, why is this activity important, or what's special about this activity? Getting into the more esoteric, getting spiritually scientific as a way to encourage grown-ups to spend more time with the kids out there. And so this is a number association with this activity, and the number that is being associated with this is 33. Okay, so I did choose it, but here we go. So if we keep in mind this activity, if I were famous, and the point of it, it's to do with goal setting. It's to do with obviously discovering in the young child or in the child what they want to do, what they want to be. And in my opinion, it's a 33 thing. So this is kind of numerology. Well, this is numerology. So this is from The Secret Science of Numerology. A link to the book will be in the show notes on my Substack and secretkindergarten.com. But let's read what this book, The Secret Science of Numerology, has to say. 33 is the number of selfless giving. This is the master number of spiritual giving. It is the as above. For it benefits the spiritual needs of others. The root number 6 is the vibration of home, love, family, service, and responsibility. It must make its voice heard in its family or career. No greater love has any man than to lay down his life for his friends, from John 15, verse 13. One who will do this is experiencing the 33 vibration. Jesus was 33 years old when he gave his life for humanity. The word Savior vibrates to 33. So this is known as the love vibration in its highest form, compassion. Another aspect of the master 33 vibration, 33 is considered a master number, is the experience of the Kundalini force making its way upward through the 33 segments of the spine, opening the chakras as it rises, and causing a tingling sensation in the body from the movement of the petals of each lotus-like wheel. Positive aspects are seen in the following 33 words, words associated with the 33, and I think this is doing that gematria on it, adding up the numbers, adding up the letters. Ability, angelic, blessing, inner, inward, peaceful, potence, unique. The diamond was chosen to be the spiritual gift of a man. The spiritual gift a man gives to his betrothed to show his love. Diamond vibrates to 33. Hawaii is considered by many as heaven on earth. It totals 33. Our great spiritual gift is the genesis, 33, of life. The opposite side of the vibration is doomsday, holocaust, and calamitous, all 33 words that are the negative side of the spiritual. Persons with 33 in a name or birth path number are highly sensitive to the needs of others, and through their occupations they will give of themselves in caring and comforting. Broker, costumer, customer, people, person, pillow, police, priest, sales clerk, selling, teacher, victor, waitress. Occupations are the same as for 6, which is 33's root number. Some 33 words connected with love and family are believe, desire, romance. The 6 root represents the voice. When it is elevated to the 33 vibration, we find it at its height in the great orator and in the teacher. 33 words that have to do with the voice and sound are announce, concert, dramatic, dynamic, preach, quality, resound. Yeah, so with the 33, there is a vibe of, of doing like a vocation, right? A career, a job that serves others, that has like a higher order to it, or a spiritual purpose or a great purpose. And again, this connects to other world connections, where we're finding our life path, our dharma. And it is associated with really, I'm picking up associations with the great work, what we are brought here to do. We're here to serve others, and we're here to teach others. We're here to make the world better in order of good. So the point of this is that, what does the child answer to if I were famous? My opinion is you are most likely, or you are going to find that what they say they would like to be famous for is going to be something associated with the number 33, which is, in my opinion, a nudge in the direction of that there is like an objective morality. There is a right way to go about things. There is a purpose to life. And I think these things come up from the kids when you give them the freedom to create and imagine their future. So that's the point. So if I were famous, it's a number 33 activity. And whatever the kids suggest, the fun part for the adult is to check out what that might mean. What does the child want to be when they grow up? Is it a 33 thing? I say it is. Okay, and then moving to animals. So animals are so basically numbers and animals are the two most frequent symbols or symbologies that surround especially the young children. And we can get a lot of meaning and connection and synchronicities, these kind of things, with these symbols, because they are immersed in that same world of children, young children. And so the animal associated with the activity I were famous and the number 33, again I've chosen this but I'll explain, is the ostrich. Now Dr. Stephen Farmer has written a number of books on spirit animals, and this is something that is really gonna, magnetize to you if you were to spend this kind of inquisitive and supportive time with young children, and just children, right? Basically, numbers and animals show up symbolically to help and guide you and your family. So the ostrich, Dr. Stephen Farmer says, what the ostrich means. If the ostrich shows up, sort out whatever is no longer useful to you and let it go to make room for the new. Find some practical uses for whatever inspirations and ideas have come to you recently. This is a time to satisfy your hunger for knowledge by pursuing a course of study, whether through an informal or formal education process. Making clear choices and decisions, education and study, focus, the need for intellectual stimulation, openness to new ideas, speed and efficiency, spiritual awareness and growth. So again, there's a spiritual aspect and a learning and goal setting and direction aspect to the ostrich symbolism. So all this to be said is, with 2 minutes left in the show, what does that mean? So it's basically just I'm just trying to motivate people in a way to approach engaging with children, especially young children, because of where their brain development is at, to spend more time and, understand that there's a spiritual science aspect to it as a motivator to go and do that, because it's like a syntropic thing. So the child gets something out of it, and so do you, and it makes everything better. So, for example, if the ostrich or the number 33 pops up into your head when you're thinking about your son or daughter or niece or nephew or, friend's kid or whatever, well, that is a synchronicity. And it's a synchronicity telling you that, there's something about goal setting that's important for you and the child, or for the child. You might see an ostrich in real life on the TV or in print. Well, that's another synchronicity. Same with the number 33. So having an understanding of these things, but maybe you get what I'm trying to say is, for me, when I was teaching, weird things with numbers and animals started to happen, and I was in a supercharged situation, literally in, learning centers with like 30, 40 kids, right? So that psychic energy is, really amplified, but it's still there if you make the time and the effort. That's what I've got to say. So these synchronicities come up, and then you can learn about what, say, the animal number that pops into your head or that sticks out to you, and there'll be a message in that for something to focus on for what your child needs. Another example could be when the child has an attraction to the ostrich. In this example, for example, so animal books and animal resources are obviously, go hand in hand with educating young children, right? So you want those resources around because they are the talismans for this kind of work. If your young child is interested in the ostrich, well, the ostrich is there saying, hey, let's look at goal setting. That could be really good for you and your child to do. And you will be surprised what you find. Your child's desire for a 33 number type of career, that you can figure out ways to grow and develop. So what you could do to bring the spirit of the ostrich into this activity would be to do a little bit of learning about the ostrich before you were to do this activity, the activity If I Were Famous. So you could have a look online with the kids, And, yeah. You should be both curious for different reasons. And that would be syntropy. And so after looking at the ostrich, you move into the if I were famous activity, while the ostrich is still fresh in our minds. And that's about that. So thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you at the next one. Bye.